And like either you can freak out and sell, like call it a day, or like if you actually genuinely believe in it, I can take the extra risk.
Yeah, this my note if I die. Think I tried to write this song 370 times. I can never say this, but I think for a reason that's so much bigger than me. Yeah.
What's up, guys? It is Thursday morning. Not everything is a splash, just the conferences, the parties, and all that kind of fun stuff. Right now, we're just hustling and working. Woke up, sometime at 8. It's not as fast as having 9 to 5 where you got to be up at 6 to hit the road. But still, I've been schlepping around this little extra stream for almost a week now, so that when I'm ready to get back into trading, I'm ready to go. So for me, the past few hours have been, actively, trading Bitcoin, and also working on some other projects, which I'll be announcing very, very soon. Some big things are coming, but essentially, every single day, I try to put in a couple hours of work early in the morning, then, off to, do whatever other things I want to do, and then usually put in another session late in the afternoon. That way, you can both, be productive, have some good times, have some fun, and just keep that balance where you're as productive as you can while, keeping as happy as possible.
Come get some lunch, baby. We gotta fuel these bodies and these brains.
Let me grab some socks real quick. Dude, this gives me some luck. Bitcoin socks. Available on cryptosocks.com. I bet Charlie Lee's rocking them at home right now.
I had to do it.
I'm still waiting on my a reply. It was I was wearing them today. They felt good. See, I feel like this is one of the tough decisions that you make that will actually help you go far beyond everybody else. Right now, I think everybody's selling, everybody's spreading FUD. My dad, his dad, everyone. And either you can freak out and sell, call it a day, or if you actually genuinely believe in it, I can take the extra risk.
The bottom line is people are impatient. They want to see that growth now. They're not willing to wait. We all know in 2 months it's going to be completely different when the weather starts getting nice and people start getting in a better mood. And if you look at the 5-year trends for January, month over month, it's always been down. January's always been a down month.
And it's funny because everybody says oh, I wish I would have bought Bitcoin 2010 was cheap.
Yeah,
well, the very same people would have sold it, because there were so many crashes, it crashed already 10 times.
Yeah,
so they wouldn't have held through.
Most people wouldn't have stuck through it for the whole 7-year span it took to get to
$50 or $60 when wow, I doubled my money,
That's why I say put it on a ledger, forget about it, because that's actually what happened with my 401k. I forgot that it was growing, and I checked back in and it was making 12% returns. I'm okay.
If you can't, if you don't know how to day trade, that's not your thing, then it's just best to lock it away somewhere, forget about it. The temporary price pump also brought so many new developers into the field, so many new people building businesses around blockchain, around crypto, and those aren't going away. And speculators may say, okay, I'm selling, I'm quitting. But even in my friend circle of for example, developers, there's so many people actually working in the space now, and that's permanent, or at least a lot more long term. It's when everything was peaking at 20K and whatnot, I was I wouldn't necessarily buy. I was always oh, I would just wait, and people were oh, she went up another $50, another $100. I'm yeah, sure, but long term, I think we're gonna go correct it first before we continue to go up, and they were impatient. Now this very same people, they're making jokes and whatnot, oh, everything's going down and how you must be losing a lot of money. I'm no, I told you to be patient. Everybody does what everybody else does instead of actually thinking for themselves. And I think, in the markets, having a somewhat contrarian perspective usually helps, because if you do the opposite of what everybody's doing, more than often, you're more right than the others. Because everybody can't be right. That's a simple truth.
Yeah, dude, it's nice and fun.
Advance? Yeah. All right, anything else
Stories changed since I first started. They wrote me off, it should have left me broken hearted. Brushed them off and I said screw it, I'll work until they can't ignore it.
What's up, guys? It has been a lot quieter day. We've just been working, hustling. It's been my first day back at trading after taking like a 2-week break because I was always at conferences, North American Bitcoin Conference, Blockchain Connect, moving to LA. So I've always been busy. So first day back at trading, had a killer day, even though the markets have been coming down. But just day trading in and out, and also working on some projects that I'll be announcing very, very soon. Something big's coming up. Also working on some ICOs. It's just been a busy day. So mostly been home, grabbed some food, and then hit the gym. Also something that was way overdue because I haven't been working out in 2 weeks because of this very same reasons. You see, sometimes you have to balance out, stuff like travel. Travel is awesome. Travel is fun. You network a lot, but it kind of takes you out of your routine. So I think it's important to have that routine, maybe 70% of the time, where you have that routine where you get those results in work, you have to get those gains in the gym, but then you also need to have that 30% where you travel, you expand, you meet new people, you get new ideas. So it's always a balancing act. And the past 2 weeks for me have been that networking, that traveling, but now it's back to work. So perhaps the next few days will be a little bit less, glamorous or exciting, but we're getting some real stuff done. We'll make some moves that will be defining the next few months. And we've been going down because you always got to look at the different time frames. If you're about to go to bed, you got to look at the 6-hour chart because you're gonna be knocked out for 1 to 2 candles. Yes, when I was going to the gym, I was looking at the 15-minute chart because or the 1-hour chart. Now, 1-hour chart will be gone for 1 to 2 candles. 15-minute chart for 46. That way you can see what would be the realistic trajectory, if it goes just in one or the other direction. And when you go to the 6-hour chart right now, it's just a little bit overextended. We've gone from 11.6k to 8.5k. So I can easily see move back to 10k by tonight. You got 2 candle bodies can easily go there. And then we probably bounce off the 26 EMA. But what I might do honestly is set a limit sell right by 10k, maybe 9.9, so I'm not greedy. And I'll be making a big profit. And chances are maybe it wicks up there and then I wake up and it's lower and then I can buy back in.
I like the main thing you learned from today.
There's public speaking, there's negotiation, there's asking the right questions, but most importantly, I guess, is persuasion. Persuasion, I think, is obviously it's the mix of the Creek. There's the Creek triplet. You gotta have the logos, the logic behind it, that everything makes sense. And I think a huge part of that is dumbing shit down so that actually people can relate to it, that it makes sense to them. Then there's ethos, establishing yourself as a credible speaker. And lastly, the pathos, somehow getting to them emotionally. So I think the number one most important key to public speaking is confidence. And not just public speaking, also negotiation, persuasion, because people can smell it from a mile away. If you don't believe in what you're saying, nobody else will, right? So it's really an internal process as much as it is an external, right? But there's, I think, it's not something, maybe it's something you're born with, maybe not, but more I really believe that it's something that you can learn. Because, me personally, for example, I was born with a speech impediment, then I came to America and I had a massive fucking huge accent. So, I basically had to relearn speaking twice already. So it is definitely a learnable skill, and I think a skill that anybody should learn because it's so powerful.
I throw it like Brady, I serve it like Venus, yeah. Maybe I sell out arenas, yeah. Out in LA, who really cares what you say, yeah. I'm about to make it, yeah, I'm about to make it, homie, better get out my way. I throw it like Brady, I serve it like Venus, yeah. Maybe I sell out arenas, yeah. Out in LA, who really cares what you say, yeah. I'm about to make it, yeah, I'm about to make it, homie, better get out my way. I left my job for the stream. Crazy it seems, but I'm somewhat on top. Funny how girls that curve me in my inbox think now they wanna give the homie some top. Baby, just stop. I don't got time.
I don't think things will be the same. I think they already aren't. They already changed, but it's just gonna go to a new level. That's the thing. 2017, my focus was building a solid foundation. Building up my finances so that I have a solid stream of income. Taking care of my health. Regularly going to the gym. And now, that I have the solid foundation, I I can really go further, you know? Like so many things happen at the same time. Look at a personal brand that's growing, you know, like hopefully soon daily vlogs. Right now, a couple times a week, you know, we're creating the content. At the same time, you know, like my crypto is taking off. Life will never be the same.
This is where we gain value from all the long-term investments that we've made in ourselves and our intellect and our businesses. You gotta stick with it, like even during the ruts, even during the slow periods, even when the market's half the size. You gotta stick with it, keep chugging forwards.
I would say when you're in low moments, just stay focused. The worst thing, like you always have to like manage risk. That's the biggest thing. And I mean, it comes from trading, but it so big applies to life. You will face challenges and you have to make sure that the decisions and the actions you take, like the decisions you make and the actions you take in those moments, that they don't put you into like a downward spiral. That's the most important thing. You better, like, you have to see like, how can I like cut this bad period short, and what can I do now to start like, you know, getting back up, you know, getting back on my feet again. Like what can I do to like, you know, what, like maybe like a business didn't work out, for example, right? So then you ask yourself, you know, like what else could I start? How can like basically distance yourself from that as fast as you can and start something new to both like keep your spirits up, but also like you build the next thing that can help you take things to the next level.
With the arrow, in love with the mix, we could get married and make model kids. Come home to you making food at my crib. If that's how the life is as sweet as it gets. Yeah, they want what I got. She called me daddy, I told her to stop. Girl, we in public, don't sound like